All right, so September 28th will be the last voyage of the Halcyon. That is a Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. I'm amazed that it took, 18 months for it to close. Those of you unaware, that is the incredibly expensive, if you're a family of 4 trying to do a basic cabin as well as doing, airfare, it's like a $6,000 2-night experience. To put that into a little perspective, you could pretty much do like a Disney cruise for like 4 days for slightly less, depending on where you're going, than the ship you're on, than it would for 2 nights on the Halcyon. Now, I was someone who probably actually fell into the category for someone who would most definitely end up going to something like the Halcyon. I did Disney World Christmas last year. I'm planning on doing Disneyland in the month of October. And we're looking at maybe doing a Disney cruise, next year. So I'm obviously the person who would end up having, the disposable income level to afford something like this. But I couldn't rationalize dropping roughly $6,000, I'm including airfare, to go to a hotel for a couple of days. I mean, really cool looking hotel, yeah, no doubt about that. But just not something that I was like, this is a definite worthwhile investment for my money. Now, the funny thing is, so when we did Disney World Christmas, there was the Halcyon crew was let out, and a lot of them were trying to do the Bounty Hunter game, not knowing that the Halcyon band isn't a Magic Band Plus. Why spend the extra $10 per person to give them the ability to do everything? One of the cast member handlers, the person who was there with the people to make sure they could go around and do everything, thought we were actually also on the Halcyon. So my daughter was dressed as Rey, and we had I had custom ID badges made, thank you Etsy. Custom badge holders, again, thank you Etsy. People thought I actually had like an Apple phone, when instead it was a Magic Band Plus with another thing added to it, again, thank you Etsy. And I had a bunch of Bounty Hunter badges, again, thank you Etsy. You might notice a pattern here. Even though I can enjoy the Disney stuff, I can enjoy the Star Wars stuff, I would rather give my money to the small creators on Etsy and get something, that's going to be of probably better emotional quality than what you get from Disney. So, am I shocked that we're seeing, 18 months later, there's just be another black eye onto the record of Bob Chapek? But hey, Disney thought that they had enough people excited enough for Star Wars to drop $6,000 for a couple days in a really fancy hotel, with meals included. So, the land-based cruise, and they recently had to scale back a lot of it because the dates were not selling out. Big shock there. There's not a bunch of Star Wars fans who make 6 figures to the point that you can actually fully staff a hotel for several years at a time. You see what ends up happening with the area, with the location. Could they turn it into a premium hotel? Maybe. Could they use it kind of like a half gate? I'm pretty sure you could probably charge people like, hey, do you want to go do, an all-inclusive Star Wars day for like $200 a person? And that could probably actually do a pretty good job selling things out, just not have all the actors and all that, because you don't need people running around and be like, oh no, we have to make sure we can save Chewbacca, and here comes the First Order. Just remove all of that and just make it like a really cool interactive experience people could do that's Star Wars related. Maybe that might help them recoup some of the loss, but not a big shock that it's closing. Very, very expensive, and Disney has burned a lot of bridges with that fandom.